Hi everyone, it's me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles Realtor, and today I'm here with a local business in Toluca Lake, the Complexion Apothecary. You're going to want to stay tuned and not miss anything because we've got some special stuff in store. Hi everyone, it's me, Corrie Sommers. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I'm with Dyane, the owner of the Complexion Apothecary, which is here in Toluca Lake, Burbank Media District. You come down Riverside, right as you pass Bob's Big Boy. It's going to be right after Priscilla's, about two shops down.
Mm-hmm.
And new to the chamber, but what's really exciting is I think a lot of times people think all spas are equal or facial places are equal, and they're not.
No, definitely not.
So I first want to ask you, what made you start and jump into this business? Because I know you have a history to share.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about that first.
Wow, it has been 23 years in the beauty industry. So I started in 99.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only job I've ever had other than marketing and PR, which I learned so I could be better at my job. And I've just always done it. I've started out as doing hair. I'm also a makeup artist with Local 706, as well as my husband, and a licensed esthetician.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned to do everything, and then when I came to LA from Canada a few years ago, I learned that there wasn't a lot of salons and spas like this, so we decided to open one.
Okay. Now I know you had mentioned you've worked a little bit in the industry as far as television, film. How did that journey go?
So I did 18 years in editorial, doing runway and billboards and magazines and that kind of thing. And then when I moved to LA, my husband, being in the 706 union for the past 30 years, had said, "You're such an amazing makeup artist. There's more film and TV here than there is going to be fashion."
Right.
So I quickly changed over to film and TV, where I get to utilize doing effects makeup as well as beauty makeup. And got into the union, and I found that I was doing a lot of skincare on set.
Yeah,
and people were trying to find a place to go because I use a lot of green and clean beauty. And they wanted a place to go. So that was also a huge perpetuating factor into opening a place for our guests to come that is private.
And let's talk a little bit about that, because you mentioned green beauty, and I know we spoke earlier about the product line that you carry and what's behind that. So share a little bit about what those product lines are and what's so special about it.
Absolutely. So we use Dyane exclusively for our hair salon, which includes their color and their styling products, as well as their back bar. We also have Natural Tech, which is amazing for anyone who is having any kind of scalp or hair issues and really needs an intense treatment. We carry all of those, and we do all of the treatments. We also carry Comfort Zone, which is Dyane skincare line. They're from Italy. Dyane Group is a B Corp certified company. And B Corp certified means they are the most socially and ecologically responsible personal care brand in the world. They put themselves through serious scrutiny as far as knowing where every ingredient comes from and how everybody is treated in every step along the way. And even think about how the product affects the world after you've washed it down the drain and how it affects your body. So no endocrine disruptors, no SLS, when it goes down the drain, water soluble, biodegradable, vegan, cruelty free, and environmentally friendly. We also have Black Girl Sunscreen, which is a cruelty free sunscreen brand that we absolutely love, with no white residue or flashback, and has a nice matte finish, which I use on set as a makeup artist. B3, which is a beautiful, natural, nutrient-rich skin oils company. And Dr. Nigma. So Dr. Nigma is a Goop certified naturopathic doctor who deals with the connection between the gut and the skin.
Nice.
She has a skincare line as well as vitamins that are all about the connection between the skin and the gut. And that's our most conventional line, but it's also made by a wonderful naturopathic doctor.
I think so many times people miss that, right? Like I remember being in high school and I was having so much acne problems, like hereditary. My dad is terrible skin. Sorry, Dad. But I went to a chiropractor who was just like, all right, I'm going to suggest 2 things. He's like, every morning before you have anything else, 8 ounces of water. So I started having water first thing in the morning. That helped. But he also had told me to crack an egg, take the yolk out, and put that on my face as a mask. I can't tell you, it's still like the best home mask I ever do. Like,
Absolutely.
It's so amazing for my skin. Who thought a chiropractor would give that, right? Like, so.
My dad's a chiropractor, so I kind of grew up with this information. I think that's kind of the stabilizing factor in me understanding the green and clean necessities when it comes to what you put on is what you put in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you have different services here other than just having amazing products. You do hair.
Yes.
Cut, color.
Full service hair salon. Our stylist, Maddie, who actually gave you a beautiful
got some footage for you guys to see. Yes.
And Michelle are all very incredibly trained, have been in this industry for a long time. They're actually training to go on set and be union stylists as well, which means that they have a serious amount of skills and are able to do so much styling, and really their understanding of color and of cutting and angles and different types of cutting through the years of being stylists before coming here is, it's just invaluable assets that they have, that they bring to us.
I know it's tough to get into the studios. My hairdresser, who I've been with for over 20 years, was a studio stylist for a while, so I know how hard that is to get in. As far as skin services that you offer, I know one of the things we talked about earlier, which I thought was super cool, and I think I want to try, was the microchanneling, which is a little different than the microneedling. Explain all of that.
Right, so microchanneling is one of our favorite facials, absolutely, by far. It's anti-aging, it helps with hyperpigmentation, sunspots. If you already have some wrinkling happening, which we'll say that they're just laugh lines, it helps to decrease and diminish those, as well as if you have any deep-pitted scarring, if you once had acne, it really helps to smooth that out. And the reason is, so there's no downtime. Next day you can go out and look your beautiful self. We create micropunctures into the epidermis, which is the top part of the skin, as opposed to going right into the dermis, which is right in deep, which is what microneedling does. And there's a place for everything. However, we're not dragging across the skin. We're not creating huge, deep wounds. We're creating little micropunctures, which helps to signal the fibroblast in your skin, which tells your body, oh, I need to start creating collagen and elastin, and I need to start creating an inflammation protocol so that those things can start creating. And what's happening is your body is creating those cells fast enough that it's not creating it with the scarring or the hyperpigmentation or whatever you had before, because it's going in hyperdrive. So it's going, oh, I need to get this done quickly, so we're going to make the cell and we're going to make it as we know how to make it, which is properly, instead of making it the way that you are like, oh, I don't want this anymore. We're kind of like triggering your body into thinking it needs to go into hyperdrive.
So a hyper healing.
Yeah, hyper healing. So 7 days after your service is actually when you're going to see the best results, because you have to go through the arc of the healing process. It is a once a month treatment. You can actually go all the way down to your décolleté with
get rid of any
sunspots or the lines that we get in between here.
Sleeping on the side
without a pillow. Yes. So that's a 90-minute, and this is a 60-minute. And as we say here, your face ends at your nipples. So this is your face. Everything should go all the way down, and the backs of your hands. Never wipe your skincare on your towel. Always goes on the back of your hands when you're done.
Okay, so she's making me really excited to try this service.
I know. And we also, if you're more looking into the peel aspect, which we actually tend to say after you've done your first 3 microchanneling treatments, you go into alternating monthly with a microchannel and a peel. And we also have the hydrofacial machine, which you know and love, which is basically microdermabrasion, oxygen, peel, and super hydrating facial. But what we do is we actually add the hydrofacial machine to our custom facial. So you get the massage, you get the mask, you get the LED light treatment, as well as the whole facial with the hydrofacial machine.
Which a lot of other places, it's a la carte services, right? I was sharing that my first hydrofacial was a place, and that's literally what I paid for, was just the hydrofacial. And the first time I was kind of like, that was it? Like I expected a little more. So I love that you do that because you're giving that full
service.
Yeah.
Everything here. We know the importance of a massage. Most people think it's just for relaxation. It's actually to start bringing and circulating your blood to the surface and bringing it up to this part of your body, since we usually stand or sit for so long that the top half of our body is not getting as much stimulation. It's always going down. So we try to stimulate the upper half of your body, try to make sure that the blood is flowing and that it's softening the skin so that it can absorb and take in all of those products. Because if you're standing there and you're concentrating all day long, so if you're standing there concentrating all day long, your face gets really tight, right? And it gets really, your skin, you can feel it. Sometimes you have to like rub your face. What we do is we're softening that. We're softening the skin. We're softening the muscles. We're moving around the lymph so that when we put all those amazing products on your skin, it's actually absorbing in and doing something.
That's
but
cool.
Also you being relaxed just makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And feeling better is looking better. So all of our facials, other than a 30-minute, which means when you get a 30-minute, it means that you're like coming in, getting a quick fix because you have an event, or you just noticed that you were getting a little dull and you wanted to pick me up. A 60 or 90-minute means that you are, I'm here to do some work.
And the 90-minute covers.
The 90-minute covers.
The full face.
Yes. So 90-minute actually, so that's for microchanneling and hydrofacial. But when you get a custom facial with us, the reason we call them custom means that every product we choose, every modality that we choose is with you and customized to you. We don't have a list of 1 million facials. We only have a couple. And the reason for that is our 60 and 90-minute custom facials will actually cover everybody. Because we'll sit down with you and go through the paperwork that you fill out, and we'll say, oh, here's what you're looking for. Here's what you feel your issues are. Here's what I think as a professional your skin needs. And together you'll come up with something that works for you, that you can do. We always massage everything down to the décolleté. We always put all the product down to the décolleté. We make sure that it's very relaxing and calm. We have everything from microdermabrasion and LED and cryo globes and the skin scrubber, and we have everything.
Globes. Wait,
so those are the cold little globes
the balls that
we do massaging with. To nice and tight and perk up the skin. And one of my favorites, which I think people don't give enough credit to, is the gua sha. The gua sha is amazing.
I just bought one of those. I keep seeing it on Instagram.
Great.
I'm like, let me try this out. Okay.
Yes, it's amazing. It's something I truly believe in. I keep it in my makeup kit. I have it in my personal at home, and I do it to myself with some nourishing oils. I use like a B3 oil, and I'll do my gua sha, and I'm telling you, it's amazing.
So I've been trying to start that. Like I bought it's the one I've seen lately. First I had tried the Jade one, which doesn't have any ridges. I bought the black one with the ridges because I feel like I get some bags, some swelling. It's more the right word, not so much bags, but swelling. And I notice it's related to food or my sinuses. Like if my sinuses are irritated, I have puffiness.
100%.
So I'm like, I know someone that's like, oh, I'm going to have a surgery to remove that. I'm like, there's got to be something else you can do than surgery. So I bought it and I said, I want to try it. So that's really exciting to hear.
Yes, actually on Monday we have the owner of B3, Brush Beauty Balm, coming in from New York to do a live training on how to better incorporate nourishing skin oils into your daily skincare routine, as well as oil cleansing for the skin. Oil cleansing is huge. It's the same as oil pulling. It's for your skin. Most people, though, aren't doing it correctly. There's a certain amount of time you need to do it for. There's an amount of emulsification that needs to go into it, and to really see the best results. So we're actually going to do a live in-person here at the shop. There's giveaways. There's gift bags.
I think I'm coming.
We might have a little wine. But it's the best way, and we'll go over how to kind of use a gua sha and get through it. Like I've said before, I'm only 2 years away from 40, and I don't have any injections of any kind. I solely 100% believe that what you do, the amount of effort you put in, is the beauty you're going to get out. Yeah. And so if you can't, I understand that custom facials, like getting a facial, is not exactly in everybody's budget. I understand that. I grew up. Everything I have today, I've worked for. I understand that. But we do have 30-minute facials. You don't have to get them once a month. It is recommended. However, you could come, 4 times a year when the weather changes, and really save. My big thing is that this is what I would do is I would go 4 times a year when the weather changed. I would save up and get all the skincare I needed because your body changes as the weather changes. And as you're inside with heaters on versus air conditioners, it's more drying. And, we start to rain here in January. Yeah. So, and I'm from Canada where there's tons of snow. So it was always different, but you are changing. And as you get older, what worked for you, a few years ago is not working now maybe. Coming in and talking to an esthetician and sitting there and going, okay, every 4 times a year, I'm going to get a custom facial. I'm going to get the skincare that I need to last me until my next one. And if I have an event coming up, I'll pop in for a 30-minute glow and go little peel and get that glow back. But it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be all the time.
You just said something that made me think, and I'm going to bring this up. So you're originally from Canada, and you were used to having a plethora of places to go for skincare. My mother's mother is from Canada.
Yeah.
Came down super little, and she's the one who introduced me to facials when I was 16. And she took me and she said, you have to do this once a month. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I didn't do it till I was almost 30. But she was trying to instill something, and her sisters were very adamant about lathering like creams on their face, and they didn't use expensive products, but they were religious about it. And my grandmother had very peachy skin to the day she died, and I don't remember her sisters, my mother does, but I think they all were just very their skin was very peachy, that their hair was very fine, and it was plump, and which I think now we appreciate more than that generation did. But I'm starting to feel like it's a Canadian thing that you guys grow up with it more, and now it's becoming more common here.
It's actually more of a European thing that came over to Canada. We definitely have more ties to Europe than we do to America, and it is very, very common. I was also raised at 16. You start getting facials, you get your eyebrows done. It's very common. Everyone I know, there's literally a spa like this where you can get body waxing, facials, and hair. There's a million. We have millions and millions of them. Every neighborhood has them. And one thing I want people to know is people are always afraid of professional hair and skincare because they think it's expensive. So one thing you should know is we don't have fillers in our products. As I mentioned, they're vegan and cruelty free, but they also the amount you're actually getting, so 250 milliliters, let's say, or 500 milliliters, the amount of product in that is actually more than one that's half the price. You're going to use more of half the price one, because there's more fillers in it, and it's not actually doing what you want it to do. So our stuff is all concentrated. There's no waters, there's no fillers. You have to use literally half of what you're used to, and to get the same results. Like the tiniest little drop does your whole thing, so it actually lasts you longer. Does better for you. You're going to see more results in faster time. Nice.
What made you pick Toluca Lake? You came here from Canada. Was it? I feel like I kind of know, but I want to hear from you. What made you pick this area?
Okay, so we live in Burbank, actually just down the street. And it's because working in film and TV, we live close to all the studios. Obviously, like I said, my husband's been in the union for 30 years. He has 14 or 15 Emmy nominations with 6 Emmys for beauty and effects makeup. So he has to be in this area. He works a lot. And so when I was kind of figuring this area out, and I got to do it during a pandemic, which was interesting. I found that what was the best thing about this was it reminded me of home. It reminded me of a small town. There was everyone says hello, everyone smiles. Like you walk into a store and the owner is there. And I love that. I just love that. And to me, I was like, okay, this is amazing. 1, I have to live near here, and 2, I have to have a store here because this is the feel. This is the vibe. This is what makes me feel at home.
It's funny. I say that all the time. Toluca Lake is like the small town in the big city. We have all the benefits of being in Los Angeles and being close to everything, but we have this walkability with all this charm, and like you said, people are very personable, and it's just such a special little area.
Absolutely. I love it here.
Good. And have you had a chance to explore some of the eateries and things? Like, what do you guys do when you're hungry for lunch?
Oh my gosh. So we often frequent Sweet Green.
It's okay.
I think I actually,
yeah.
yes. So I actually have celiac, which was a huge perpetuator in finding green and clean skincare as well, because I have to be really careful with ingredients.
Right.
So celiac is actually an autoimmune, so you can have that. A lot of different things trigger that. So I find that there's great restaurants here. I love to go down to Foreman area and there's like the little steak restaurant, the South American steak restaurant. Their steak is so good. Oh my god. Yeah, so Melbeck's, their steak. There's just unbelievable. Sweet Green. A lot of people here really love going. Obviously, there's like pizza places. There's tacos. There's Sweet Fin.
Have you tried Red Maple?
Oh, Red Maple, so good. Their coffee, we mix between Priscilla's and Red Maple because sometimes you just need a longer walk in the afternoon.
True.
Priscilla's is so close that we literally know all the staff by name and probably actually their like when they work. It's their schedule. We're there a lot.
That's funny. And I know, like, I also I love Sweet Salt too. Like their breakfast is so good.
Their duck confit omelet.
Yeah, a lot of people love that.
So I go to Align and Define for my Pilates. I go to Lakeside for my nails, and then I go over and have a omelet at Sweet Salt. It's like a Sunday tradition at my house.
That's awesome.
I know. We love this neighborhood. We're here all the time. We've got a Trader Joe's. We've got a post office. We've got UPS. We've got FedEx.
Everything.
We've got, there's so many little shops. I do so much of my Christmas shopping here too because there's so many little one-off mom and pop stores that carry individual beautiful things that are handcrafted or that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And when you take that time to go to those stores and see those things, when you buy those as gifts for people, they really truly they love it. You know what I mean? It's not about. Yeah. And another big thing that I love about this neighborhood is almost everyone does a gift card.
Yeah.
Like you can get a gift certificate for anywhere. You could create we were trying to talk about this as creating an entire experience, like experience Toluca Lake, because Island Bronze down the street for a spray tan or a teeth whitening.
I know. I'm so excited that they came here.
And she's so sweet. She's so wonderful. And just being able to go and get your nails done and get a coffee at Priscilla's and come have a blowout and a facial, then go get a spray tan. And, it's like you could literally do everything here. And then pick up groceries on your way home and go have a beautiful dinner.
Exactly.
Yeah,
or go out to dinner.
Or go out to dinner. Or go out to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because if you did Sweet Salt, and then you went and then you did lunch at you could do lunch at the little pizza place down here. I forget what it's called. We just walk into it. But then you could also go to Melbeck's for dinner. Yeah, you could never leave Toluca Lake.
You could go and get your pedicure done. You could go and do a little bit of shopping. Come and get your facial, your hair. Yeah, you could make a day of just being around here.
Oh, absolutely. Sure. And the one thing is, you park once.
That's true.
You never have to park again. Yeah. And when do you get to do that in LA? Never.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really want to thank you for meeting with me today. I think you have something super special.
Thank you.
And I think it's important that people, again, like I said before, I don't think people always realize what a spa doesn't necessarily mean the same thing. Mm-hmm. And, especially with your name, the Complexion Apothecary, they could be like, well, what is that? And not know that you have hair, not know that you have amazing products. I think that deeper dive is really important.
Yeah, and we are a private spa, so that means that when you go into one of our spa rooms and close the door, it's over 95% soundproofed. Nice. So we've actually built a full structure within the building. Mm-hmm. So it's a building in a building, and once you close the doors, you are in there, you're in your own world. We have really beautiful elements in there. Our bathroom is Instagram worthy. And we've created a really interesting space that everywhere you go in here, there's something interesting and fun to look at. And everyone who works here is at the top of their game. Their comprehension of not just the ingredients and not just the lines that we carry, but each ingredient, how it works together and how it's going to work with your skin. Everyone here is the best. I've spent many, many years of my life learning all of these things. I have over 17 certifications and diplomas.
Wow.
And when I hire people, I make sure that I would trust them with my skin or my hair.
That says a lot. I think that's important. Well, thank you so much
Thank
again.
you.
And I know you had mentioned that you have something special coming up too. That's going to be a little bit of a weekly thing.
Yes, every Wednesday we wax. So Wednesdays you'll get body waxing, which is from the neck down, at 25% off. Or if that's not your thing, you don't have anything to wax, you can get a deep conditioning or scalp treatment with a blowout for 25% off on every Wednesday.
Nice.
And the last week of every month we do a flash sale of 50% off a service of some kind. It'll change every month. And then we also have online sales of products coming out on our new website. And we're going to do some fun, really fun stuff for 12 days of Christmas or 12 days of whatever you celebrate in December, with really, really good discounts on products.
Awesome. You have to keep me informed of that.
I
so
will,
we can
absolutely.
Keep the word out there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. And I just want to encourage you, if you're in the area, even if it's a short drive for you, come and check out the Complexion Apothecary and see their services and see if it's a fit for you.
We take walk-ins too.
There you go. All information will be included below this video as well. So thank you again.
Thank you so much.